Be honest. How many leads have you lost because you responded too late? You received the request come in, but because you're a little bit busy or you're working all day, you decide to tell yourself, you know what? I'll get back with them. But then a few hours go by, maybe even a few days go by, and then you just find it awkward now to even message them back. Or maybe for some of you, because they didn't respond back, you assume that they're just not interested in your services anymore. But oftentimes I find that they either get a little bit too busy, maybe they got distracted, or even worse, they went with the competitor that stayed consistent. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact follow-up system that I teach local business owners to use in their business so that they stop forgetting, they stop assuming, and they start closing on leads they are already getting. And I want to show you the exact system that I go. There's a few little steps into this, but I want you to walk with me in this and we'll go and I'll try to make it as clear as possible for you to understand what is happening and why it's so important to follow up. I believe that follow up is where you start building connection with your customer from the point whenever they submit a request. So it begins from there whenever a customer submits a request with you. It can be from your Google, from your website, from your landing page, maybe even from social media. It begins from them submitting and giving you their contact information or service information. Once they submit, we're gonna take a 30-second wait, just so that it can feel a little bit more natural. And then we're gonna send an acknowledgement text. And this is so that it takes away any doubt that they may have. Maybe they're even questioning, did they even receive my information? And I've spoken with a lot of business owners that actually don't even have this set up. And this is like the first step for them to do. At least send acknowledgement. And so we send this message. Hey, contact first name. Thanks for filling out your quote request with your business name. We got your info right here. We're checking everything now so we can get your quote ready. Once we send this acknowledgement step, we're gonna wait around 10 seconds and you can adjust this to however you want. But then we're gonna send an engagement text. We're gonna send this message. It says, just to double check before we finalize everything, you requested for this service, right? And then you input specific service, or it might be like, this is where your service address is, right? And you input whatever information it would be there. But this is the key here now. Then reply 1 to confirm, and we'll start preparing your quote. That right there, it may just be a reply for them, but for you, it's micro commitment to your business. It's them deciding to take the time and say, you know what, I'm gonna get on my phone and start responding to this business. These little micro commitments then in turn help you close the deal with them. It may be something small, but it makes a big difference on how you speak to them, and it makes a big difference on closing with them. And so we send that engagement text. At this point, we then go into an if statement. If they do reply and if they don't reply. We see two branches here and we need to take actions for both. If they do reply and if they don't reply. I'm going to show you if they do reply first. And that is critical for later on processes for the no reply branch. If they do reply with 1 or with yes or with correct and you adjust it to however you want to, we're going to send them this message. Perfect. Thanks for confirming. I'll pass your info to our lead service tech, and you put the tech name, so he can reach out to you shortly with your quote and your scheduling details. Appreciate you reaching out, and you're in great hands with your business name. Once we send this message, I'm gonna give you guys a side note. For you as a business, it's important for you guys to stay organized. As a local business owner, I know it may be hard running things on your own, but that's why we need automations and we need softwares like CRMs that allow us to stay organized between customer to customer or customer groups. And so whenever these next steps that I'm going to go over, it's now helping you be organized as a business. If you don't have a CRM, you may have to do this on your own on like Google Sheets or Google Docs or however you manage your clients. But if you have a CRM, most of the time they have these next steps. And so we're going to add a tag that they're ready for a quote. Once that happens, if you have a pipeline set up or a workflow set up for every customer that submits a form and you have different stages, then we're gonna update the stage that they are at. So here you see confirmed ready for call. This is actually one of the stages that we have set up in the back end for the business that lets the whole business know, or anybody that manages all the clients know, that these people are ready to book. And I want to encourage you, if you don't have a CRM, make sure you at least do it on Google Sheets or something that allows you to manage these clients and to know what stage of the booking process or the service process they are in. So once we get it confirmed and once we get that updated that they're ready for a call, we're then going to assign it to the appropriate service tech. In some industries, it may be an appointment setter. Depending on you, I'm pretty sure most of you are going to already assign it to a service tech. And then with whoever you set it up, you then just update the previous message that we're assigning it to this person. You just update that message. And then it's going to send you an internal notification letting you know that this person's already ready. It's going to give you the service information, their phone number, any contact information that they have, maybe even the address or all the information that you need all in one place. And then it's going to let your service tech know to please call to confirm details and finalize the quote. Now, from here, I understand that there are some industries that require estimates or to require a walkthrough or maybe even some images. Anything of those steps, I want you to implement it before this portion, okay? Because once it gets assigned to the service tech or to the appointment setter, I want that person to have as much information as they can in order for them to present a value. And this value would be the estimate cost. So an example, if you're a detailer and your bare minimum for doing a detail is $140, an example, every single person that goes through this workflow, you're gonna assign them that this person is worth 140 bucks. And if they already know what service they're getting and your prices don't really change as much and you already know what service, no matter what state that they are in, then you just apply that value there. But I understand that there are some service businesses that require to go and do an estimate, to go and do a walkthrough. But on the phone or even in your service form, whenever they go and request, ask for as much information as you can. Whether it's send some photos, give me some measurements if you want to do that. Just so that you can have a baseline of how much you can charge in this. Once you get that number, that number, you then apply it to that contact info. And for here, for the CRM that I recommend for all the business owners, you assign an opportunity value. And with that value, because it's tied to the customer, if you win that customer, you update the value to what the actual service was quoted. You're now able to see how much you won. And then you're also able to see how much you lost from that customer. And as a business, I believe it's very important to know your conversion rates, to understand how much was sitting on the table, to understand how much left your table, and how much you gained from your customers. And with this information, you'll be able to adjust, oh, these are the areas that I need to fix. These are the areas that I need to improve, or these are the areas that are my strongest. And so whenever we assign this opportunity value to the customer, we're able to see how much we gained, how much we lost, or how much is just sitting there in our workflow. That's all the workflow for if someone were to reply to the initial engagement message. Now, we're now going into the branch of no reply. This is where it's crucial for local businesses to master. If you're good at your follow-up whenever they do reply, great. But you need to be great at your follow-up whenever they don't reply to you. Because most of the time, the reason they don't reply, they either forgot that they requested for this, they either decided to make the decision, I'll message them back later. And we want to make sure that we are visible and memorable throughout this process. And so this is now the no reply workflow. Just to show you the initial engagement message in case you forgot it. The message is, hey, just to double check before we finalize everything for your request, just to make sure this is the right information. That's the initial message. Reply 1, and you can change that however you want to whatever it was. Reply 1, we'll start preparing your quote. Now we're answering if they don't reply to that message. If they don't reply within 5 minutes, we're going to send a simple first check-in, a simple nudge that says this. Just checking back. Is this the service that you needed? Your service details, and you can even put address details just to confirm with you. Reply 1 to confirm so we can finish putting your quote together. We're then going to add a no response yet tag to let us know in the back end, let us know as the business owner that this person hasn't responded yet. And then we enter now another branch if they do respond to that and if they don't. If they do respond, they're going to go through the exact same steps. You just duplicate the exact same steps if they do reply that I went over just before this. And so if they don't reply within 2 hours of that last message that we sent, of the simple nudge, then we're going to send them another check-in that says, hey, contact first name. I totally understand if you got busy. It happens. Just wanted to make sure you still want your quote from business name. Reply 1 whenever you're ready, and we'll get it started right away. And as you see, we're going now through the same steps as we did before. If they do reply and if they don't reply. If they do reply, same exact steps as the ones I went before. And if they don't reply, we're going to send them a final check-in. And this is after a full 24 hours or a full day. So this is the next day basically for them. You're going to send them this message. Hey, contact's first name. Just one last quick follow-up from business name. We've still got your quote details saved. Want us to hold your spot for a quick call. If they reply, you know what next steps to take. If they don't, we're then going to wait one more day just in case. Give them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to wait one more day, but this is now a closeout message that says this. It's, hi, contact first name. We haven't heard back about your service quote, so we'll close this request right now. If you decide later that you'd like to move forward, just reply here and we'll gladly get you scheduled. Thanks again for your time from all of us at, you fill in business name. And the last step to take with them is to update the opportunity. Put them that they're not interested or that you lost that. And because you have now tied an opportunity value to them, you can then now see your conversion rates and see how many you lost and how much you gained, basically. But in this step, it's in how much you lost. So that is the full workflow. The biggest takeaway is the fast response, the easy engagement, the clean handoff to your service techs, and the respectful follow-ups if they don't reply. And if you want to build something like this for your business, something that is customized to your service, to your team, to your quote, and to your whole process, I want to encourage you and open an invite to you to go into the link in the description to where you can book a one-on-one roadmap session with me, to where we'll take 75 minutes and go over your whole workflow and maybe even build out a follow-up system customized for you. And so if you found value in this video, I want to encourage you to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.